As we head into year number 3 of this whole booktube thing, we got to talk about some differences coming to the channel in 2022 because a great man once said the times, they are a-changing. Hey, what's up, bookworms? I hope everyone had a great Christmas and we're ready to start kicking it into gear as we head towards 2022. I kind of wanted to have a quick little chat with you guys about some changes coming to the channel. Now, look, I don't plan this to be a yearly thing, a big channel announcement. Like I said, a year ago, I announced that I was going back to work, and in the end, not a lot on the channel changed, really. So that was just kind of like a thing, just letting people know, hey, I was going back to work. And that's before I knew I had like a commute and things like that, and I had more time to read than I thought I did. But again, that's a different time. This is a different video. What this is going to be about, guys, there's going to be lots of, well, I don't say lots, but there's going to be some significant changes coming in 2022 that I want to kind of address, because I know there are going to be things, if I just mention it in like a weekly update or something, I have somebody asking all the time, hey, what happened to this? And I was hoping maybe they would have a better chance to hear it from me and hear exactly the reasons why I made some of these decisions. Now, I still like to take risks on this channel, but I also know that you got to know when to stop. You got to follow the data sometimes on these things. And I know I get a lot of pushback on that. Do what you want to do. Don't worry about this or that. Look, it's nothing about, it's hurting the algorithm. Guys, just some of the things I do in this channel, they take a lot of work. And if it isn't what the people want, I ask myself, why am I putting that much work into something? So again, it isn't really following the numbers that way, more in following the numbers of listen to what your audience wants. You listen to what the feedback is, what they want to hear you talk about. And sometimes, unfortunately, the numbers work out to, that 10% that really like that are going to end up a little disappointed with some of the decisions that I make. So I understand that, and I understand that some of the things I'm going to talk about today is going to be very disappointing. But I want to get out in front of it and kind of explain why. Now, I'm never going to be scared to know or to try new content, really. That's never going to be a thing of me. I'm always going to try that. I feel like I try something new every month on this channel. Some things work, some things don't. But again, like I said, I want to make sure that I'm balancing it with the content my audience wants to watch. And what that means, guys, is the first one here is there's going to be no more Malazan spoiler talks. Now, I know that upsets some people who are actually still reading the series at this point, but I feel like at this point, those spoiler talks, all they are is for people that have already read the books and they just want to see my reaction, spoilery, which is fine. That is part of the audience as well. It's just a very, very small portion of the audience. And when I listen to the feedback, guys, when I mentioned that, there was basically the channel growth was dying, and I was like, I'm going to try to figure out what this is, and all the feedback that I got was, well, I like to watch all of your videos except stuff on Michael Crichton and except stuff on Malazan, So that's when I was like, okay, well, maybe I should cut down the content. That's when I took away, I took away my top 10 characters for Malazan like that. Stopped doing the veteran talks there, because the further along you get in that series, the less the audience gets that have actually read that far into the series, So it's just one of those things of a tough decision to make. But like I said, guys, you might not think, I know that people think I just turn this camera on and just talk, and I do that a lot, like I'm doing it right now. But with the Malazan stuff, there's a lot that goes into that, trying to make sure I remember everything and stuff. And I felt like I was already putting too much pressure on myself with those Malazan books. So yeah, making sure that I remember to talk about every single key little thing in that, that pressure being gone, that's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm still going to do my standard reviews for each one of those books. If you guys want to hear me talk about spoilers, jump on the Discord. I'll talk spoilers with you in there all the time. We do have a voice channel on there. We talk on the voice chat sometimes too. If you guys want to talk spoilers about Malazan, we can still do that. I'm just not going to be making, over an hour of spoiler talk about Malazan for, 2% of my audience that is interested in hearing those. So that was the first tough choice. But, again, at the end, I am still going to talk to Mr. Erickson. I plan to talk to him soon, and I plan to talk to him again. Spoilers when the series is over. When I'm done with the series, we're going to talk again. We've already got 2 of those dates planned. And I was thinking maybe I could do like a wrap-up thing with like AP and Philip and Iskar. I guess I should actually ask those gentlemen if they'd be interested first. But I feel like they would be fine to do that with me. I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. But I'd like to kind of give it a big wrap-up like that. So, I learned a lot with this Malazan relog, but I'm not going to lie. I think I might have overestimated its popularity. It definitely had a lot of interest. But yeah, I had so many people that have dropped out on this that it's feel like I'm making those videos for that last 5% of people that are still with me in that read-alongs. That was a tough decision, but yeah, I have to cool it on the read-alongs. I think I overexerted myself this year with too many of the read-alongs, and going back to work full-time, my kids getting more and more involved in extracurricular stuff, got to kind of ease back on some of these read-alongs. And so I'm going to finish the Malazan one, obviously. We're going to be doing that Tad Williams one because I've already committed to it, and I'm going to be doing that Codex Alero one with some of my patrons who, one of them, Steph, actually sent me the books, and she asked me to read with her, so I'm going to do that, obviously. But other than that, it's over. I'm not doing them anymore. And what I'll do is, like I have been doing with some series, is like, look, I'm reading this book this month. If you want to join me, hey, go for it. But as far as like just this scheduled read along each month kind of thing, not doing it anymore. And that's why I regret to inform you that I am ending the great Michael Crichton reread. Now, here's the deal with that, is I just feel like I've got way too many books back here that I've never read to justify spending so much time on rereads. So that's really more so than Michael Crichton. Obviously, second favorite author of all time. Michael Crichton's always going to be my guy. I'll still read those because I do want to continue rereading those. But as far as like following the schedule each month, not going to do that anymore. Now, here's the deal. I encourage those who are doing it to keep going. My whole goal with that was to spread awareness of Michael Crichton because I felt like he was starting to get forgotten. So I've introduced him to multiple new people. That's great. That was always the goal with that, was to raise awareness for Crichton. I just feel like it would be rude of me to be like, okay, I'm really behind. These Malazan books aren't getting shorter. They aren't getting less complex. I don't want to keep telling these people every month, oh, well, I'm going to delay that another month and we'll talk about it next month kind of thing. So I encourage you to keep reading with that schedule if you want. We're going to keep that thread open on the Discord if you want to keep doing that. There are people who have already, gotten Lost World. They're ready for that in January. So I'm just not going to be doing that right now. Again, like I said, I will continue to go through those in the right order, just not on a schedule. So yeah, that hurts because I was really enjoying revisiting Michael Crichton. Again, I think I just overexerted myself. And there's going to be some casualties and things like this. And I think the casualties need to be the rereads other than, series that I haven't read yet. Kind of keep cutting those off. So yeah, again, I encourage you guys to keep going because I love hearing about what you guys think of Mr. Crichton. Now, speaking of rereads, this is the big one. There's this little thing I do on the channel called Into the Multiverse. Now, I am not stopping Into the Multiverse. I am not stopping it. However, I'm not following a schedule on it anymore. I was doing a 1 per month schedule because, he's got a lot of books. So I thought that was the best way to do it. Give other people time. Give me time to reread a lot of these I haven't read since I was a teenager. Again, that falls under the rereads thing. I'm going to keep doing Into the Multiverse. I'm going to keep doing it in order. I'm just not following a schedule anymore. It's not going to be once a month. It's going to be, hey, I got extra time this month. Let me pick up that Stephen King book and let me see if I can fly through it and do an Into the Multiverse for it. Now, again, I know that's going to be a huge disappointment to some people because I know there are some people who are only here for Stephen King content. And Stephen King content isn't going away, guys. I'm still going to be doing plenty of Stephen King content. That's still my guy. I'm still going to be talking about Cy King quite a bit, and I'm sure it will be things other than just Into the Multiverse. So fret not. I'm not stopping Stephen King material on here. It's just the once per month schedule kind of thing might not happen. Now, the flip side of that is I might end up speeding up the Dark Tower reread. And that's just because, guys, that's a series I know that a lot of people on this channel that are more interested in fantasy than they are Stephen King are reading Dark Tower, and then they really are anxious for that next one. So if I'm delaying the schedule, that means Wizard and Glass. I wouldn't be reading it till like 2023. So I might actually be breaking the release schedule of that to do those. But again, that's kind of up in the air. I'll kind of see what happens with it. But I'm going to have to kind of slow down on that kind of thing because I don't have time for rereads. And these Stephen King books that we're coming up on, guys, they are chunkers, So it's not like I can just be like, oh, I'm not that guy. I'm going to squeeze in, that 600-page book in 2 days. Again, like I said, I've gotten way more busy lately than I've ever been in my life. So it's hard for me to do that. And again, that's when reading starts to become like a chore, and I don't ever want reading to feel like that. So I think the best thing to do was to say, hey, I'm just going to do those, make them mood reads when I've got time or when I feel like it or when I need a break from fantasy. Hey, I'll pick up a Stephen King book or a Michael Crichton book again. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So I hope you're not too disappointed about that. Again, just kind of listen to my audience on this one, combined with, okay, I need to make time to read new things too, not just rereads, because I'm always all the time clowning these people talking about doing a Malazan reread or doing a Wheel of Time reread. Like, I got too much stuff to read to be reading those huge series a second time, right? So it seems really foolish. Oh, but you're going to reread the entire Crichton chronology and you're going to reread all of the Multiverse. So yeah, I kind of get the hypocrisy in that one. So that's why I made the decision that I did. Now, as for other content on the channel, I plan to do more collaborations. I would like to do, I don't know, maybe more like duo book reviews or something like that. I know me and Philip have talked about doing Beowulf sometime this year and doing a review together. Philip and I did a spoiler review of the last Joe Abercrombie book. So that's the kind of things I'd be more interested in doing a couple times on the channel. Not just, the talk about nothings, but, actual reviews with another booktuber. I think that could be a lot of fun. I want to keep trying new things when it comes to collaborations, but as well as talk about nothing. I would like to continue doing talk about nothing. That's just a ton of fun to just, no script, no notes, nothing. Just turn on the camera, turn on the microphone, see what happens with another content creator and see what we can talk about. I think that that's a lot of fun. And the feedback is that people really, really enjoy those. And I've got guests lined up, I think, through like April right now, for that. So that's something that I would like to continue to do once per month. And I think it could be a really good time. I'm really interested in picking the brain of some of these other content creators, seeing what they think and things like that. So if you guys like those, I hope you will continue to watch, as well as I plan to keep trying to get a hold of some authors that I'd like to speak with. I'm going to continue to be persistent on Pierce Brown. The thing with the Pierce Brown thing is I'm pretty sure he's going to come on the channel eventually, you guys. I met him at a book signing. He was super, super nice. He talked to me for way longer than I thought that I deserved that much time when there was that many people standing in line behind me, and he's the type of guy who, when he's writing, he doesn't do appearances. He doesn't do anything that distracts him from writing. Follows me on Instagram and he likes my posts a lot, so I know he knows of the channel. He knows I've been an advocate for his series, so I'm pretty sure he will come on the channel eventually. I made a list the other day of like authors that were like on my bucket list that I haven't got to do, and I was like, look, Stephen King and what? Sadly, I had to take Anne Rice off recently. But like Stephen King and George R. R. Martin, yeah, those are pipe dreams. They're never going to happen. I don't think Stephen King even owns a computer. Why would he want to talk to me? But yeah, things like that, those are pipe dreams. But there's a lot of authors out there. Look, Joe Abercrombie is my favorite modern fantasy author, and I got to talk to him. So I have to start believing, hey, some of these things are possible, and I've had a great time with some of the authors that I spoke to already. So I'd like to continue. I know when I first started this, I said I don't really like talking to authors because I'm not a very good interviewer. Well, that's great because I let you guys ask the questions and they go over pretty well. We had so many questions for Jay Kristoff and we talked for 2 hours, so I can always count on you guys. So I've got more interviews lined up. We're talking with Anna Stevens, the author of Goblin. We're talking with Stephen Erickson, author of Malazan. There's other ones that are in the pipe as well. So it's something that I didn't think that I have a real interest in, but I really do enjoy listen to these authors' influences and what they think, and just what makes them tick as a writer. Someone who's never going to be able to be a writer. I love hearing about other people's craft. It's fun to talk to other content creators, but I like to hear about something that I've obviously had such interest in my life, and as authors, hearing about what goes into making a book. So I love all those things, so I plan to keep doing that. And really, I want to make sure I just continue to listen to feedback from you guys, to continue to make improvements on the channel, to make sure content stays fresh, to make sure it's stuff that you guys are interested in doing, not just, passion projects. I have no problems doing those once in a while, but when I realized I was just really scheduling all those things, and I was looking at my TBR, and every month, half the month is taken up with a reread. I'm like, there's so many new series that I want to read that I could be reading during that time. So that really is what kind of went into it. Now, when I say listen to feedback, I mean listen to feedback like taking polls. What are you guys interested in me doing? Stuff like that. Reading comments. Listen to you guys. I'm not talking about like Wheel of Whiners. I'm not talking about those guys because those guys don't even watch the channel. They just watch the Wheel of Time content and they just flip tables. Which hey. I was kind of flipping tables at that last Wheel of Time episode too, but that's a different conversation altogether. But you know what I mean. Listen to feedback, really, and I always said I'm thick-skinned enough I can take criticism. So if you guys have some constructive criticism, not like your intros are too long, boo-hoo, use a timestamp. No, things like, hey, I love your channel. I'm not interested in Malazan content. Hey, I like your channel, but I don't really want to watch you talk to somebody for 3 hours. I get these things. So I'm interested in hearing that feedback. I appreciate it. And it's what goes into making this channel stay fresh. Because the last thing I want to do is the place to get kind of complacent and people to be like, yeah, the guy's been doing the same thing for 3 years. What's left to do? I want to make sure I keep trying new things. And that happens by listening to you guys. So guys, that was the big channel announcement. No more Malazan spoiler talks. No more Great Michael Crichton reread. And no more set schedule for Into the Multiverse. So again, I know some of you are probably very disappointed in that. I do apologize. Got to do what I think is best for the audience as a whole. And right now, I think that is it. But I always encourage you guys to continue reading Michael Crichton, continue reading Stephen King, obviously on your own. And that way, when I do review it, you've already read it. And you'll be like, great, I can watch this review now. At least that's what I hope. So guys, again, I hope that you will stick with me through another year of this as we get along to year number 3. I'm excited for all the changes coming, and I'm interested to see where we end up by this time next year. I don't think third straight year I'd have a channel announcement, but who knows what can happen during these things. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you down below.